How do you keep the music playing? The old tune asks. How do you make it last? How do you keep the song from fading too fast? Today, new answers to those questions come from physicians for musicians.
Because the pay and the support for professional musicians in the United States is pretty paltry.
This doctor found a way to help out by performing surgeries for free, operations these artists otherwise could not afford, so they can continue to pursue their dreams.
There are times when I don't think that I'll bounce back.
I think the special satisfaction that I get from treating professional musicians is, one, just knowing them intimately because they're great people. Number two, because I get to hear their music. More importantly, knowing what they give to the world and that I'm able to reconstitute that ability, that I'm able to give them their ability back to play beautiful music and then to give to the world as they do.
Dr. Alton Barron's patients have included some of the biggest names in the music industry: Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, Sarah Bareilles, and Rosanne Cash.
You want time, but you're content to watch it fly.
Rosanne and her husband John Leventhal sit on the board of the charity Dr. Barron started, Musician Treatment Foundation, MTF.
What makes MTF special is that he treats our extended family of musicians, and he's a caretaker of that family, and it means the world to us. We don't want to lose a family member because of injury, and he comes in and he takes care of them and he puts them back in the game with us.
Their music has made it to the top of the charts, but both Rosanne and John will tell you they are among a fortunate few.
When people think of musicians, they tend to default to what the musicians they know, who tend to be doing okay, your top 1-5% musicians. But the vast majority of musicians in the United States of America and the world are struggling.
Those professional musicians are the ones being helped here.
It's a tough road. And it really resonated with us that there was somebody who was interested in helping them.
MTF provides free orthopedic care to those in need.
Most musicians I know don't have health insurance. They aren't making a lot of money. And so to have a foundation like this that actually cares and is keeping musicians healthy and well and able to do their job is just a blessing.
Dr. Barron came to start this charity after healing and helping performers for decades.
I have been discounting my fees or eliminating my fees or asking the hospital administrators to give this person a break. They're a beautiful musician giving back. Let's give them something back.
I'm very grateful for everyone who has donated to the MTF to allow musicians like myself continue playing. Because, if I had to pay for these surgeries, I wouldn't be able to do it.
It was while young Dr. Barron was treating musicians at the New York Philharmonic that he first realized the importance of his specialty to their art.
A violinist playing one Mozart violin concerto one time through is 20,000 bow strokes. They're in an awkward position. They've got their shoulder abducted up here. They've got their arm twisted this way. They've got their wrist and their fingers in their hand.
A musician's upper body takes a beating, arms and shoulders and elbows. He's treated them all, the limbs so crucial to a musician's livelihood.
On the shelves in his house, I found thousands and thousands of albums, which I'd never seen so many before. And he, I should say, is a guitarist. So now you understand why he actually started this Musician Treatment Foundation.
But one doctor cannot serve all of the artists needing help. So
I've recruited 65 shoulder, elbow, and hand surgeons, maybe we're close to 70 now, who are world-class shoulder, elbow, and hand surgeons around the country, in cities around the country, especially big musical cities such as Seattle, LA, New Orleans, Chicago, Nashville. And they have all agreed to join our quest, to join our model.
But the surgeon's fee is only one among several big bills that come due after an operation.
The Musician Treatment Foundation, they pay for everything, so you don't have to worry about any of the bills coming in after you've had some treatment.
Absorbing those costs requires big money, so big names are asked to give back. Enter Elvis Costello. He was the first rocker to raise a hand to raise cash for MTF.
You see this here? I've come to understand over time that this is one of the tools of my trade. And like a lot of musicians, I've discovered that from time to time you run into problems that require surgical intervention.
Elvis staged the first MTF benefit, then played more, enlisting his famous friends to help out.
Roseanne Cash.
He was doing this benefit for MTF in Austin, and he asked us to be guests. Elvis's enthusiasm was kind of contagious about it. Then Alton did surgery on my wrist, and I thought, well, he's really good at what he does. And just his dedication and generosity of spirit was really attractive.
Alton's practice includes patients from all walks of life.
As a writer, I need my hands. And Alton has actually operated on so many parts of these hands. He's rebuilt these hands. These are the $6 million woman hands.
Treatment begins with Dr. Barron's diagnosis. The patient's reaction, almost always the same.
Yay. Just basically yay.
And Tim Daly was grateful enough to help auction off guitars donated by rock stars to help this cause, with the proceeds going to MTF.
One of the amazing things about the foundation for me is that I can help people very quickly right away.
Irene Chang Semino is the full-time executive director of MTF. Her presence is an indication of a charity growing in stature and maturity.
Give it up for Alton.
We appreciate you all so much for being here.
I tear up multiple times every single MTF event because you just can't help it listening to these folks' stories when someone finally comes, that can help them.
My hand was just getting a little numb at times. I had it checked and I was diagnosed with carpal tunnel. I was quoted $20,000 to put it right. There was no chance of me doing that, so I struggled on for another 20 more years.
Benefit shows in Austin led overseas to Dublin, where a recent concert broadened the horizons of this nonprofit.
John and I, we have a natural connection that we're able to offer and convey to people. We've been doing this a very, very long time. So, easing into a cause, it feels good.
I probably play better. Probably sound better. I mean, I like to think there's some subtle way that it's going from my heart to my head to my hands to the audience to the universe.
Knowing they can play, knowing that hundreds of others who have been healed by MTF are performing all over the world, prompts a final question for the doctor.
How does that make you feel?
There's nothing better. I mean, at times I have been asked this, and I don't feel I'm going to well up and cry right now, but I have many times when asked that question because it's very emotional for me, because it means so much.